after beating Bangalore in the eliminator of the playoffs of the Indian T20 League, and what was an absolute cliffhanger, a high-flying Hyderabad now march on to qualify 2, where they take on a Delhi side that's going to be looking to make it to its first ever final of the Indian T20 League. Speaking of the final, Mumbai are already through, and they still wait to find out who the adversary will be on the day, which is why Ayaz Memon looks all cool, calm, composed, and relaxed. Mandira Lalvani, not so much, but despite her nervousness, she always brings her best face and her most beautiful smile to the fore. Ayaz, Mandira, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Ayaz, we'll kick things off with you. Definitely should be a crackerjack of a contest. Your thoughts going into this encounter?
Yeah, I hope it is a crackerjack of a contest, because the way Delhi have been playing, they've lost 5 of their last 6 games. In Bangalore's case, they just didn't seem to have enough ideas about how to approach the batting. I thought it was very confused in the match against Hyderabad, and also just not enough heft to make the runs and then defend it. So I think Delhi have reached a similar situation, except I think they're one notch lower than Bangalore. I'm just spending a little time there. But their bowling has not shaped up. Like Bangalore's bowling at least was extremely good, but Hyderabad's bowling in the last match, if you see against Mumbai, it was only Ashwin who got 3 wickets and who looked like he could control the batting, but otherwise Mumbai notched up 200 runs. So this is a team which is looking to me short on confidence, short on conviction, short on just short on good form. Rabada not getting wickets, Nortje also struggling to find wickets. The bowlers being hit all over the park. The back. I mean, Prithvi Shaw in the last 4 innings hasn't made a double-digit score. The last match they were 0 for 3. When you start like that, you end up in the rubbish heap. You can't end up winning a match. So that's what's been Delhi's fate. And they were, I think, fortunate to have finished number 2. So they've got another shot at getting into the final. Otherwise, it would have been Tata bye-bye some time back. But Hyderabad, on the other hand, have got 5 victories on the trot. And each one looking more impressive than the other. You mentioned about this being a cliffhanger. It's a study in contrast. The last league match they played, they beat Mumbai by 10 wickets. They were like marauders. They were like pirates buccaneering win. And then here you have, in a tight situation, the serenity, the calmness of a Williamson, the experience of a Holder, which takes them through. I think the match was actually looked tighter than it perhaps was, because they had 6 wickets still remaining. So if it came to it, they could have started a little earlier, but they wanted to win. And then they reached it quite, I thought quite comfortably finally, albeit in the last over. So this is a team, or these teams have reached this situation in very contrasting styles. And I think the momentum is certainly with Hyderabad. Though I must say that how often all of us, and certainly I have, we made predictions in this format and ended up with foot in the mouth. So, कुछ भी हो सकता है. कुछ भी हो सकता है, लेकिन मुश्किल है, I think, for Delhi. Anyway, I'll give you my picks for Hyderabad. They'll be David Warner, Rashid Khan, and I would go with Jason Holder, because he's now coming across as a worthy all-rounder, in this mix where we've talked of Ben Stokes and so and some of the other fabulous all-rounders, but never seem to talk about Jason Holder in the same breath. And now from the Delhi team, I don't know who to pick from the top order, because they've all been bombing. So I'll still go with Shikhar Dhawan, because if he gets a 50 or 60, the team looks rather good. But if he gets 10, 15 or 0 like in the last match, they look not rather bad but terrible. So Shikhar Dhawan is so crucial to the batting. I think Ravi Ashwin is, if the pitch is getting slower and giving some help to the spinners, certainly him. And I don't know, I think it's a last fling for Rabada to kind of salvage the situation, salvage his own reputation as well as his team's. He had a fabulous tournament for about 4, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and then suddenly went downhill. So this could be his redemption song.
Brilliant. Ayaz, you spoke about Delhi being short on confidence, but it's certainly been long on Mandira Lalvani's support, whose support throughout the tournament has been unwavering, unflinching, indefatigable. Mandira, over to you for your thoughts.
Itna bhi nahi. It's been definitely my support for Delhi, my support for Punjab, Hyderabad and Bangalore. Just putting it out there. But for the last match, it was Hyderabad that I was supporting. So again, I'm very happy that I got that one right. Look, Hyderabad has come together in such a phenomenal way. 5 victories on the trot, including beating Mumbai. That's got to be the hugest boost to one's confidence. Bangalore just wasn't looking like a side that could give any competition. They couldn't defend like 130 odd runs, which was just bizarre. as far as this particular contest is concerned, they've faced Delhi twice already in the league matches. Both times Hyderabad have had the upper hand. So they're also going into this contest with that background, in mind. Secondly, just starting to speak about Delhi first, Kagiso Rabada, where we couldn't stop waxing enough liquid about him in the beginning, and he was just the one who did everything and all the wickets and all of that. He's just looking so off color in the last few contests. I think in the last match which I saw against Mumbai, he bled runs in the death overs, which is so unlike him, typically or traditionally, or what we've seen of him at the start of the tournament. So I think that's a big hit, and of course the top order is just not firing. So all the problems that we've been speaking of, and Delhi has to do a lot of stitching and pretty quick if they want to have even a slight chance at cracking this side. Because as far as Hyderabad is concerned, meanwhile, as we discussed last time, quite by fluke, quite by chance, they've got their perfect 11 going. Bear in mind, despite Riddhiman Saha being injured in the last match, and hopefully he will be playing against Delhi in the second qualifier. But bear in mind that despite him being injured and Srivas Goswami coming and opening the innings and having a bit of a hiccup there, not scoring quite as much, then you had Williamson and Holder, with that perfect chase and all of that. So I think Hyderabad is spoiled for choice almost, and could maybe be in a position to say, even if Riddhiman Saha is still not fit to play, we should still be able to wing it given this Delhi side. I think a lot depends on the bowling, of course. So let's start with Hyderabad. My 3 picks would be Rashid Khan, Jason Holder, and David Warner for sure. As far as Delhi is concerned, I think a lot depends on Shikhar Dhawan, on Kagiso Rabada, and Prithvi Shaw. Very disappointing, and I'm sure he himself is desperate to have like a fairy tale ending, with some big scores and all of that, and who knows what might happen.
Thank you so much, Mandira. It's ironic that Kagiso Rabada has looked off color despite the fact that Delhi's primary sponsor is GSW Paints. I could, based on what both of you said, I think I could infer the fact that Hyderabad firm favourites, according to you, going into this encounter. If not firm favourites, definitely favourites. So, Ayaz, what can Delhi do to perhaps sway the match in their favour?
Well, I think they have to rediscover their mojo. They're a terrific team on paper. And as we saw in the first, maybe out of the 14 matches they played in the league stage, the first 7, 8 were fabulous, or 9 maybe. It's in the last 5 matches and then, first match of the playoffs that they've been shown up as being, they just seem to have lost it. They've just gone to bits and pieces, in the batting, in the bowling, and they seem to be They're going around like zombies, dazed look on their face. They don't know what the hell is happening. So they need to completely regroup and come back, with a stronger self-belief. And I think that will be the biggest challenge that Shreyas Iyer has when he takes the field. Look, what Mandira mentioned, I'll just expand on that Riddhiman Saha didn't play and he was not missed in the previous match. But if I tell you the number of players who have, got injured for Hyderabad, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Mitch Marsh first, then Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, then in between Williamson, then you had Riddhiman Saha, and somebody else. Vijay Shankar. And they seem to find replacements who are more than adequate. And it doesn't reflect in their body language or their demeanor or their performances. In fact, it's becoming stronger and stronger and stronger.
Mandira, I'm of the opinion that Delhi perhaps needs a pep talk from you to change the fortunes. What do you reckon?
More like a whack. What's going on, guys? What happened? We were at one stage in the tournament where we said, Mumbai, Delhi, definitely in the playoffs. So it should be a Mumbai, Delhi final. This is that one side that can win this edition of this 2020 league. What happened? A true Delhi wala would say, bhai, nazar lag gayi hamari ko. But jo mirche sado, figure it out, because you've got to get back on track. And this is your last chance to do that. So, yeah.
Fantastic. As Mandira mentioned, it's the last chance for Delhi to do this. And if they do make it to the final, it's going to be an unprecedented achievement, something they've never done in the past. Thank you so much for having joined us for another episode of Cricket Pundits. And we'll see you again on Tuesday. Until next time, stay safe, take care, and cheers.